endlessly searching for an original sin.
While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place.
Nurse!
Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least.
Good morning, Sunshine. Good morning, Sunshine. What's up? I do not remember. Wait, what, did he have the gay voice? No, I think it was the other one.
I think he had the gay voice.
He gets the gay
Sunshine?
voice.
Anyway, he calmly sips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me looming in the doorway.
His sow, what brings you here? We were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing... What? I didn't press a freaking button. What?
Yep, because the nurse interrupted him.
We were running... we were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing at his chest and I thought I'd come get you and... Now you can change. What? Oh good, I've broken the game. Easy there and calm down. Is that what happened?
I don't know. We were running and then my chest started hurting like that time before, and it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns as if to say that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron.
I didn't mean quite this when I suggested you get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Hisao.
I was being careful. I just...
Yeah, tell your heart that.
Come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would.
You're kind of an idiot, aren't you? You just what?
That is... I was racing Emmy.
Are you retarded?
Slightly.
Emmy, is this true?
Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite.
Well...
Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it aloud and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs his forehead with one hand tiredly.
Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible.
Actually, I started it.
Are you retarded, boy?
Yes.
Never mind, I already know the answer to this.
I need it regular. The nurse is stunned by my statement.
This boy is some kind of stupid. You what? Sorry.
We were just running and he started to pull away, so I sped up to catch up to her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience. Some god or another looks back at the both of us.
God help me, for I swear I'm going to kill these fucking retards. Wranglers just aren't enough anymore. So you're both stupid. I like the nurse. That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hisao. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something.
I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die.
I can't afford to have another dead student. So, how does it feel?
I don't know. Nothing much. Tired, but might just be from the exercise.
Or almost killing yourself? You should stay here for a few hours and rest. We'll see how you feel after that.
I'm not going to object, so I lie down on the infirmary bed.
That's right, bitch. Get down there. Oops, why did the button not work?
A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. Couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries.
Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful.
Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks down. She looks awfully down. And sorry. My reassurances don't do anything much to cheer her up.
I want to make it up to you. Take off those pants.
Again with that decisive nod.
So you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good.
I start with a "you don't have to," but then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face.
It's free food, just take it. Good. We meet on the roof.
We?
Yep. The weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know?
I see.
You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you.
Of course not.
Great, see you there.
I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which, in this state, is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains he drew to give me privacy. I can see a shadow shifting about in the sunlight. Huh?
Nothing.
He has opened the window of his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion like waves. Light shifts through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like a soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer with my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it. Not even a week and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one.
Good job, genius.
And why did I try to act so brave? Like that heart flutter was no big deal. Even when it was obvious that it was. It was just reflex. To push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it.
He's just a little melodramatic.
He's kind of stewing in his own guilt and bad decisions. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I have to be more careful or I'll end up in the hospital again. Or worse. And that's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a bit lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The textures of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before.
How are you feeling?
Can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. Feeling kind of groggy, falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation. The nurse looks at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion.
10:15 at night.
I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure.
Means it's around 10. You didn't answer my question, Hisao.
Oh, fine.
Climb down from the bed then, and let's see how you're doing. Don't.
I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm inside.
Stand up too quickly is what I was going to say. Just sit there, I'll check your pressure to make sure.
My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption and my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor happy. Nor unhappy.
So you only have a week to live.
Oh man.
You're alright. Head stop spinning?
Yeah.
Good. And how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Hisao.
I swallow my retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking to myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest.
Don't be a dick, Hisao.
What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, "Told you so," or something, but he doesn't.
He's a nurse, he's not gonna say that. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that. Here, note for your teacher to avoid an interrogation.
I take the slip of paper he's offering and then make my leave, as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to.
Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time it could be different.
I hear you.
I don't.
There's some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost. So I get out from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms and getting my books and stuff, and going straight to the class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. The halls are quiet, as the courtyard was, naturally so since everyone is in class. I knock lightly at the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Are you still gonna voice this one, or did I?
You can take them over. I think I've got enough.
Okay, that's why I was wondering. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything. Just nods solemnly again. I shrug and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking class notes and being overtly attentive. First days, I was pretty high-strung in class.
Hold on, I won't be able to see the chat for a minute, guys. I've got to restart my laptop.
Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday. Please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds.
Games and fried food!
Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I mean... The remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ringing of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Muto deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Normally, I join the flow and grab a lunch myself, but today is different. Today, I've been invited to lunch on the roof.
With a girl.
An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm and leave the classroom door. Eventually, the torrent subsides, and I step tentatively out into the hallway. Only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball.
Hey, hiya, Sal. Great timing. I have a super extra lunch today. As promised, let's go upstairs.
The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of her. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. Hey, it looks like Rin. What? You can do it. No, it's at the same time, Purity.
Because I'm a fucking wizard. Yikes, you scared me, Rin.
Wait, isn't she...
Hello.
Noticing that Ren is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me.
You two know each other? Are you telling me it didn't give you my chats back up? Fucking hell!
I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Ren has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school.
Oh my god, the chat's exploding on me. Hold on one moment. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy.
The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a honey giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited Hisao to lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does that mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have the food. I have food for 3. Nice thinking.
They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere.
There we go. Now I can see the chat room.
There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. Small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence, take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards a convenience store nearby. Somewhere, a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center of the small town, feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus, like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jam. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly. I haven't had time to think about it. I haven't had time to think about how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower, open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, cerulean sky. A cool breeze swooping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries a scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust used to, just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Ren in tow, and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag.
Come on, Hisao. What are you waiting for?
She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench.
Damn it! Sorry.
I seat myself on the corner of the bench and take as little space as possible. Pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Ren. Hands another lunchbox to me.
Hold on. Here you go. Lunch is promised.
Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good.
Thanks. I make it myself when I can.
Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself.
I thought you said eating yourself, but I just kind of looked at the screen. He's very confused for a moment, Toast.
There's a nice little lunch in front of me and I just shove my hand into my mouth, literally.
Nom, nom, nom,
Start
nom.
chewing. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Ren deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth, using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now.
Here we go, guys.
Will I ever get used to the sights such as this?
No, you won't.
Yeah, you in particular probably won't. I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean I'm going to give up on being a normal person? Because these are not
how many
normal
episodes
people.
has it been?
Are we in what, 6, 7 now?
Stream-wise, I think so.
Nice. Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me?
They're just looking at us and we're staring for an hour up at the clouds thinking this.
I really want to say it's me too, but
I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestor.
I'm doing cash. I know it's about this little leash.
You seem pretty hungry.
We had to sign on.
Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding.
My morning runs always work up my appetite. Which is great because I can... then I burn through lunch pretty quick. Helps keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man?
I nearly choke on my lunch, trying not to laugh.
It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too?
Do you always talk like this?
Talk like what? Like what?
I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Ren seems content to let Emmy answer this question.
Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned to rooms next to one another.
Complement each other? Because one has hands and the other has feet? That's pretty, that's interesting.
Like shoes and a suit.
Huh. Emmy giggles at my confusion.
Put us together and we got all our limbs. Got it?
Ah. Me understand now.
So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along.
I see. Ren chooses this moment to interject.
I have trouble with shirts.
Right, that seems fairly obvious.
Really?
Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious makes me feel slightly better, yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now.
That's probably the smartest thing to do.
It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage.
Actually,
I see.
that's
Conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my life.
human.
It's really quite good.
I played it. It's okay.
Played what?
The Katawa Shoujo Castlevania game.
Oh, no, I've not played it. So, I guess I'll need to go do that. Emmy finishes her lunch. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise.
That was good.
She busies herself with cleaning up her lunch. Ren speaks up.
I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry.
With a flourish, she reaches into the bag and grabs a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be a cranberry juice, one to Ren that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with the pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself.
Mine.
Ren dexterously stabs her straw through the top of the box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself.
Smart man.
Somehow, I don't think either Emmy or Ren are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Ren especially. Excuse me. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure.
So, how do you like it up here?
It's quite nice, actually. I like height places, for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose.
No problem.
Back on.
Feel free to eat with us next time, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
No lunch service? I don't know.
Bet you better start paying for it.
Emmy looks mock offended.
Try to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve.
She giggled.
Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone.
I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding. I was just kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company is okay too. Emmy frowns a bit at the declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs.
Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away.
Ren shrugs, as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we'd better get going. The three of us head downstairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I'd borrowed into the return slot on the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging that they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry, Yuko. I didn't mean to startle you.
No. That's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you?
It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do. After reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wandered down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book.
Even though she's there. Sorry.
I decide against intruding on her like last time. Get back to finding reading material. Well, Purity, we are an open book.
Get out.
After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my book, pop them into my bag, and I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room and read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for Monday already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I've never actually read the original book. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with wacky characters and nonsense plot.
Okay, I don't know why I did that.
I start thinking of myself as some kind of an Alice too, haplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole to this cripple wonderland. That's
Wonderland.
that is one way to put it. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location and overt way the school accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It is like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me.
Drugs.
Turning another page, my mind starts to drift further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt.
You have a serious issue.
That is not normal. That isn't normal at all. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad like it has... For some reason, it makes me feel really bad like it has since that time in the forest with Iwanako?
I think it's Iwanako.
Iwanako. Like, I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later, I fell asleep.
Well, guys, that's the end of tonight's stream of Katawa Shoujo. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the live stream.
Should be fun.
Bye, everyone.
Yay. Bye-bye.
Can I close this?
Take my